Is the Martin Modern Deluxe D45 the ultimate expression of a modern Martin? We're going to find out today, so stick around.
The ultimate expression.
It's the ultimate expression. It's the ultimate expression system, too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you want to support the channel, visit our spring store link below for custom swag and check out our podcast, the Fretboard Confessional, that Cooper and I host. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Glad to have you.
Glad to be back.
The video that we launched today, which it's by the time people see this, probably a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Did you see the beginning of it?
I didn't.
I said, sometimes Batman is without his Robin. And I did say, in this particular example, I'm Batman for two reasons. I'm older and I'm grumpier. So that tracks, right?
That's good for me.
And people should see you in tights.
Yeah, I wear tights 24/7. And I'm just, a weird little guy. But yeah, I'm back.
Cooper was on vacation. Some of y'all saw him. And you were in the land of no Martins or very few Martins overseas.
Few Martins. I saw a little Jane when I was there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The Four.
Yeah.
But it's a closer trip to there, I guess, maybe. But yeah. Than it is to Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
Definitely.
Did not see any D45 Modern Deluxes there. I don't think there's that many out there.
I feel sorry for them because we have one. And it's amazing. So, Leanderton, eat your heart out. No, I'm sure they're going to get one. This is a new model in the Modern Deluxe line. It's the pinnacle of the Modern Deluxe line, arguably the pinnacle of the Martin line in total, really. And it represents what Martin can truly do in a modern context with modern building techniques, but with kind of the tried and true formula and arguably one of the models that they are best known for. That's extremely famous. And I'm going to tell you right now, spoiler, I actually like a lot of aspects about this better just right out of the gate than the standard D45. And I'm not gonna apologize about it.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you. It's interesting that the Modern Deluxe series has some vintage things, and it's a good combination. Even the neck profile itself, vintage deluxe, not modern deluxe, but obviously really modern things, liquid metal, all right? But, you got some carbon fiber in
You mean they didn't have that pre-war?
They didn't have the liquid metal pre-war. All the liquid metal was actually
Post-war?
diverted towards the war effort.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah, with this guitar, like all the other Modern Deluxes, you got kind of the hallmark of those guitars, which is, at the very least important, the liquid metal bridge pins. Carbon fiber bridge plate on the inside. VTS bracing that is constructed with hide glue, VTS top, so your heat-treated, thermally aged spruce, and then otherwise, maple binding. You get some, a little more wood in the game. Maple binding on the fingerboard, maple binding on the body, and on the headstock, and pearl abound because it is a D45. So it's nice to have all the pearl with all the maple. It's way over the top and extremely luxurious, but very, very nice look. Different inlays on this guitar, as you see in some of the other 40 series things, which Chris made a statement before we started that you like the Golden Era 45 style more than the Reggie Cush.
I do. I find the delicate execution of that is my preference versus the octagonal.
And on the 40s, you get the hexagons and the octagons and the pentagon and the snowflakes.
I just prefer the design to the
and it's
the big swath of things, and it's really beautiful.
Abalone outlined in mother of pearl, really nice. Headstock inlay is going to be different because usually it would have the CFM block. This has the torch. And neck profile is a little bit different on the Modern Deluxes. If you already have a Modern Deluxe, you'll be right at home with this, but it's not too far off from a modified low-ove high-performance tape. You know what I'm saying?
I love Cooper slang is just dropping the end of every single word.
And then, of course, you got the open gear wave You know what I'm
Tune.
saying? The
Loving your wave tunes.
tunes. Yeah. You know what I learned when I was abroad is that words don't matter. It's all about the human connection.
They're all made up anyway.
Yeah, and the universal language of a nice guitar. So yeah, D45, top of the standard line, D45 Modern Deluxe, top of the standard line, Modern Deluxe line. We have had a lot of 0028s, 0018s, D18s, D28s in the Modern Deluxe series that people love. I think it's cool that we're at a point where you can get a D42, a D45, 0042, you know, some of the higher end, really pearled out stuff. And yes, this is, I'm going to try to make this make sense. This is an expensive guitar. Right now, this guitar is $10,000 and $699 other dollars.
It's cheaper than a Tesla.
$10,699. But a regular D45 is $96.99, I think. Does that price differential reign true with all the other ones?
No. No, this is a closer price
right?
comparison.
That's kind of what I thought. So if you're already in the D45 territory, which few are, but the lucky ones are, now you have an option that has a little bit of a different sound profile, a little bit different of a neck profile, a little different look. It's a D45 through and through. It's going to have the sound that you want out of a guitar like this and the look that you want, but you get two different flavors that you kind of get to choose from, which is nice.
You get gold frets on this one.
Oh, you got gold frets. I mean, come on, that's a no-brainer. A little gold fret.
Well, we've gone through the specs. The specs make a substantial change to the sound, but I think we should take a listen to it and then kind of talk about really what's different other than some of the aesthetics on the other side. So let's take a listen to Cooper putting this to its paces. Check it out. Okay, so there you have it, the Modern Deluxe D45. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on with the Modern Deluxe series. It's always good to recap. So these modern appointments that have been made that Cooper has outlined effectively do two things. One, there's a deluxe nature to all of these guitars, like the binding, like the inlay. But then the modern approach is really in kind of the different building practices, namely what's going on in the bracing and with the top. Like the carbon fiber bridge plate, the torfied top, the torfied bracing, and the hide glue. Now, hide glue is not modern, right? Yeah. But it's a box I like to check off on a lot of guitars. It has that? Yeah, usually I can hear the difference. But you have Torf Action, which has been fairly recent in the industry, making guitar tops and bracing lighter and more resonant, really kind of aged right out of the gate. And then the carbon fiber bridge plate is probably one of the most modern things that you don't even see on the guitar, because the whole idea is the bridge plate exists to kind of tie everything together and provide support for the bridge so that you're not ripping ball ends of the strings through the top. But you want it to be light.
Yeah.
If you overburden the top, it's not going to resonate very much. This is giving you that lightness and an extremely strong material, while still making guitar out of wood, which we love, and making a really beautiful, well-playing guitar to boot.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing that you brought up regarding the price discrepancy here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things that it tells us is that these changes in building practice make a bigger difference in the cost for Martin to build the guitar than the pearl. Because a D45 is going to have all of this pearl. This has, in my argument, nicer inlay that I think is probably a little bit more difficult to execute on because of the outline and all of that stuff. But once you've already kind of had all of that, making those changes has kind of been absorbed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
In the price of a normal D45. And that's interesting because that also tells you the rest of the line, that's quite a big jump. And going back to the other part that you mentioned, there's a blend here of old and new. Like I had a conversation with someone the other day trying to explain to them how confusing it is that the D28 Modern Deluxe is an HD28.
Yeah.
Because an HD28, we've been there, but you know what I mean.
We've been there.
It's going back to that vintage naming and specs. So.
But yeah, even with Martin, who most consider to have a very small classic list of models that are available, everybody knows like they're the classics, right? There's pretty much at this point, there's almost an option for everything in Modern Deluxe that you can find in the standard line. There are some outliers, and there's some things in the Modern Deluxe line that you can't get in the standard line, namely the single O and double O 12 fret 28s, which we really like. But if the D45 is the pinnacle, one, if you had this side by side with a regular D45, you could visibly see a difference with the age toner on the regular D45 versus kind of the baked Sitka look, which I really like. I think that to me is, with the D45, if we are accepting the fact that VTS spruce is an upgrade, I think that just one change, it's like a D45 with a customized top, which I like. And then the look that you get along with it, we talk a lot about how much we love wood binding. Pretty much anything in Martin's catalog that's preceded with golden era, we like golden era bracing, golden era inlays. So it's like good to have the standard, what you kind of expect to see, and then get the option of some upgraded features. And this might be a better call for you. Now we say better call. Both of them are a good call, and also
maybe you need one of each, really.
Maybe you need one of each, but if you're up at this price point, hopefully you're out there playing this guitar, or at least using it to record, using it to write songs, and it's good that there is a clear distinction between what sound it's going for based on the features that it's using.
Really, you just like the bridge pins.
I freaking love the bridge pins.
He's got a whole collection of various liquid metal colored bridge pins. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I prefer the what do they call it? The Turkish emery or whatever.
I want tungsten.
Yeah, I need the tungsten pins. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful guitar. Rare that we would have one and be able to make a video with it.
Yeah.
Because they are not easy to find. They're backordered for a very, very long time. And it's good to play on. It sounds good to me. It sounds full, very rosewoody, right? Rosewoody.
That's a term.
Yeah, it's got the depth and it's got the punch, but it's got, with the VTS top, kind of this dryness and like this played-in sort of sound. Reacts immediately when you touch it. It's a great sounding guitar and a great looking guitar. So there you go.
You were an English major, right?
Yeah, it's a great rosewoody sound. When you spend so much time across the pond, you start forgetting how to talk good.
All words are made up.
Yeah, that's true.
It's okay. So there you have it. It's fantastic guitar. I would argue it does represent that pinnacle of what Martin can produce with one of their vintage spec guitars, but in their modern building practice. So like to hear from you guys what you think about it. I know some will always come out with the opinion of like that guitar costs too much, but that's a relative, it's based upon perspective, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things can cost too much depending upon who you are. But again, I'm surprised that it doesn't cost more, given that they probably could have done that they have with all of the other models.
Yeah.
Really pushing it up. And I think it's a fantastic guitar. So the question is, would it be fantastic for you? If you think so, you can buy one of these from us. Where would they do that?
You would find that at alamomusic.com. You'd also find it at one of our 2 locations in San Antonio, Texas. You could find it on the phone, find it on the chat. There's many ways to get a hold of this guitar, and we will help you get to that point. But go on the site, alamomusic.com, look at all the Martins. We got a good selection of things. We happen to have other Modern Deluxes in stock.
Well, I was going to say, if this is your first, kind of awareness of the Modern Deluxe series, you really should take a look at everything else that they have, because there are some unique models, like you said, and really, I think everything in there, they're just fantastic guitars.
Yeah.
And for my money, are often an improvement. We've done some comparisons, and some people are like, no, I prefer the old one better, but I like resonant guitars that are lightweight and hide glue and all that stuff. So this checks a lot of boxes. So yeah, definitely check it out online and chat with us, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below, because we really try to read all those, and we appreciate all the feedback that you give, or any of the London sightings of Cooper that you have. But next time, please include embarrassing photography, and just tag him in our social media. I would really appreciate that. So.
All press is bad press.
That's right.
Yeah.
As always, we want to thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.